We're back again after a long hiatus, and I've got a treat. This is the Beretta S686 Silver Pigeon. It is a beautiful sport, not really sporting, but this is a field model. So it's meant to be taken out into the field, and the reason specifically field, first of all, you can tell there's no gap between these two barrels that the sport model has because it cools them off faster. Also, the rib isn't quite as high. In addition to that, so this is your safety. It's down right now, which means that it's safe. But if I were to break it open, so that's on fire, that's safe. But when I break it open from fire, I can't do that on the camera, obviously. Well, I can do this and do that. You'll see it went down to safe again. So every time you close it up again, it will go on to safe, which some people might find annoying, but just train it out. Some training, easy enough. I've put hundreds of rounds through this, and I love it. And I've beaten my father's score in both skeet and trap with it. Now, that doesn't mean that I'm a better shotgun shooter than him, because it's not about getting your one or two lucky breaks. It's about being able to consistently do it. It's not like we went head to head that much. But we're gonna break this apart, run the snake through it a couple times. Actually, I don't think that's the correct snake. I think that's the 30 cal snake. We need the 12 gauge snake, which is right here. Big boy. I'm also gonna clean out the chokes because those are getting dirty. So first, we're gonna do a standard cleaning and then I'll clean the chokes. So we have a new camera as well. This is from a Galaxy S23 Ultra that has a 0.6 zoom, so you should be seeing significantly more of the workbench than before. Hopefully you enjoy that. Hopefully all my settings are the same regarding my recording audio device, which is a Sony. And otherwise things are gonna be really weird on the audio end. I don't want that to be the case. Okay, I only have one bugbear with this, and you might have already seen it. There's a very slight chip here, and that is because on a windy day, I took this fore end off, like so. I was assembling it, and I put this on a table. Normally you'd think, well, that's fine. No, it wasn't. Wind blew it off the table, hit the concrete ground, and it scuffed this up. I don't know if I should buy a new one, or if I find a woodworker, I'll see if they want to try and fix that up. But I felt pretty bad about that. Anyways, this is how you break it down. It's pretty simple. This is probably not going to be a particularly long video, but that's fine. I want to go eat and go to the bar. So literally all I have to do is break it open at this point, and it just comes apart like that. We'll go opposite way from how the Marines like it. We'll go butt to tip. And mainly what I want to do here is get rid of that, that marking there. That should basically just be solid silver. And yeah, liberal application of oil and rubbing, which all men are good at, will do the trick. So, but yeah, this got dirtied up only because of my trip down to South Dakota. Went down there to shoot skeet, trap, rifle. Crazily enough, when I went down to the rifle range, which is what we did on the Saturday, they were having a 3-gun competition. And Lord, did they ever have a lot of people. They had like 20 people show up. At the local 3-gun competition that I participate in and help out a lot with, there's only usually like 9 to 10. So, man, they are enthusiastic about that stuff in South Dakota, which good for them, but also that kind of gives me a reason to potentially, when they run it, maybe use it as an excuse to drive down to South Dakota, hang out with my parents, go to the 3-gun in the morning, and then drive out by Sunday. It would be a lot of driving for not a lot of days of staying at my parents' place, but I still think it would be worth, because my parents get to see me more, and I know they would absolutely love that. No sarcasm intended. All right, that's looking pretty good. I only put like about 200 rounds through this. No, about 150. So, actually, no, that's not quite done yet. You see there's still a little bit of a mark there. I don't know if the camera can see it. There you go. You can see the mark there. Need to rub at that. I might have to like get a more coarse brush and scrape at that a bit more. That's getting there. I might take the coarse bit of this snake and use that. Put some directly on the problem spot. Get this. The last time I took this down home, and it was very dirty from all the times I went shooting, then Father Dearest was like, no, you need to clean that better. And so he gave me a literal toothbrush that had copper bristles to get rid of the remaining rings that were around. That's not coming off, is it? I think we'll be okay though. Probably need some stronger awl, but it should be fine. I think the big thing that we want to make sure, maybe that's fine actually. Big thing I want to make sure is, and I might have to scrape a little bit more, is that there's no like black ring around here. Where there's blackness, that's where it's stuff that I can easily get off for the most part. But yeah, new phone, better width. Dude, phone mounting solutions have gotten so insane. Like, there's a phone mount for the car, which I'm using currently, because I want my phone to be used as a dash cam when I'm on trips and stuff, or just generally speaking. And it's so slick. It puts arms out, and then it's got a pressure pad on the center. And as soon as you push your phone in, it just grabs the phone, keeps it nice and snug and secure. It's so much simpler than the ones we used to have back in my day. Anyways, we're going to snake this. I don't think I'll be able to get much of this on camera, because I kind of have to give it the old college try. But what we're going to do is, if you're not familiar with how these work, this got knotted. No, that's fine. We're going to send this skinny bit through. You can see it's marked for 12 gauge. Maybe you can see that. And the skinny bit will eventually let the fat bit go through once I pull hard enough. So it's got a bit of a preamble for where I'll put oil on. And we'll send her through. Yeah, you probably won't see much of this. But I'll show the back part so you can see it get dragged through. Gotta make sure that the edge is lined up. There we go. Look at the other side. Yeah, I'm very much liking the phone. I'm not used to it being as fast as it is. And I can't help but think, is this how fast my phone was when I first, phone's gonna start bouncing. Is this how fast it was when I first got my new phone that was now my old phone? I hope not, but I think that might be the case. So sort of in that, what's the word, honeymoon period? Where I really like the phone. It does have some quirks about it. One thing that I need to do less is not use the fingerprint scanner, because not for any like, oh, government's watching me. No, it's actually, there's a very good legal reason for it, which is if the police say, we want to see what's on your phone, you say you need a warrant. And for whatever reason, if they would be unable to get into your phone, legally speaking, because they would need a password for you because you can't self-incriminate. They can't get the password from you. They have to figure out a way to get into it. It's on them. However, if you have a fingerprint detection thing, they can just say, all right, we're going to put your finger on the phone, and they can do that. Because obviously if they can manhandle you and like arrest and stuff, then they can put your finger to a phone. So I probably need to figure out an alternate solution to that. Or just go back to phones, pins all the time. Okay, so this is looking a little better. This is looking a little black. This is looking good. That's looking fine. All right, we'll just finish this up with doing the chokes. Because last time I pulled the chokes, Father noticed that they were looking very black. They're not supposed to. So I'll show you guys how I do this regarding getting them out. So we have a tool. Looks like this. It's got little indentations, and those match up with the indentations in the chokes. So you put that in there. There you go. Turn left. And come out. So I'll put that one there to say that it's on the, oh wait, no, I'll put that there to say it's on the bottom. You know what, I'm going to do them one at a time so that way I don't forget which one's on the bottom and which one's on the top. So this isn't looking too bad actually, but it can't hurt. You're supposed to keep the internal chokes in. So there's two kinds of chokes, internal and external chokes. External chokes will show up very much on the outside of the gun, like they'll peek out of the tip. And internal chokes you don't even notice until you like peer into the barrel. And the purpose of a choke is to change the spread of the pellets. So most of the time you'll want it to be more narrow. You're not supposed to run it without a choke because that'll damage the threads that are inside there. Speaking of, I should probably give that a little bit of a wipe. Make sure those threads are clean. All right, we'll get that back in there. Yeah, I've started, as of last week, trying to go to the bar a bit more, because here's one thing I've been considering. It's like, where do you meet people? Where is common places to be social? And the big one is hobbies, obviously. You know, getting hobbies that get you out of the house and get you interacting with other people is great. But my hobbies are games, which are sort of at home, board games, which you find a lot of... You're not going to find a life partner there, from what I can tell. It's still very much a crowd of folks who are... This is the messed up one. This is the one that I was advised to clean. We took that out because that's not normal. But you know, tennis will find you some people, but I can't find a good tennis league. And what else? Piano. There's not really a social thing for that. Shooting. Good luck finding a girl shooting if she's not already taken. Oh yeah, that is very blackened. I'm going to take some elbow grease, I'd say. It's looking better already, though. So, I mean, it's like, well, where do people meet? Like, it doesn't always have to be at their hobbies activity, but bars. And thankfully, I live in Wisconsin, which means that the bar scene is great. And I can really be picky because I can find not just a bar, but a brew pub, which means a place that makes their own beers and has a ton of beers on tap, which means I can go for weeks and weeks and not have the same beer twice and learn more about my own taste. I was watching a video from, his name is Frito. He makes lots of really short reaction content. And he was like, y'all, what is the deal with beer? Like, do you like getting, he said, well, I'll say what he said first and then address it. He said, tell me about beer. Why do you like it? Because do you like it for the taste? Because I know you're lying, because it tastes terrible. And do you drink it to get drunk? Because being hungover sucks. And I can address both of those points. First is, beer does actually taste good, but it is what's called an acquired taste. And everyone's like, oh, acquired tastes are fake. No, acquired tastes are very real. Second address of the hungoverness, is that there are lots of solutions for being hungover and for preventing being hungover. And I'm guessing he didn't try any of them. Hangovers are primarily dehydration after you drink too much. So if you drink lots of water, you'll be fine. I also have a unique trait. I don't know why. I don't know if it's a Mediterranean thing or not. But I don't really get hungover. I've gotten very drunk, not blackout drunk, mind you, but very drunk to the point of throwing up. I didn't really get hungover. Granted, I think the throwing up was not actually because I drank a whole lot, but because what I was drinking was so putrid. All right, that's looking way, way better. You can go ahead and cut back to the video to see how nasty this was initially looking. That's pretty good. We'll get those threads cleaned up. So I think the reason that choke was looking so nasty is because it's from the top barrel. The top barrel is the first one that's going to fire, which means that if I take this gun out for trap shooting, it's going to be nothing but the top barrel getting shot over and over again. So that's probably got somewhere around 600 to 700, maybe even more shells through that choke, which is why it's so much dirtier than the bottom choke, which only gets used if you're shooting skeet, because skeet requires you to use both barrels. Skeet is very fun. Skeet is also very difficult. I think one of the highest scores I ever got there was like 15, and that's out of 25. It's extremely hard. Go ahead and look up a video of that, and maybe someday I'll put up a video to get that point across. All right, that'll do. Let's just get this big boy together. There is a little bit of an art to lining this up. I don't know if I can do it at a weird angle, but you want to get this hook in to where those notches are. Not too close, not too far. I can't do it with the wrong hands. I gotta do it the way it's comfortable for me. Right around there. There we go. Ta-da! And then we just put the forehand on. I think we're good. It works. Okay, thanks for hanging out. Hope you enjoyed. Bye now.